So welcome, guys. Welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you.
It's a lot that we're going to talk about tonight. It really is. So I just want to, first of all, I want to ask you, how did the whole concept come about of the Philadelphia Riding Academy? Where did it come from?
So, Philadelphia Urban Riding Academy. Well, you mentioned the movie Concrete Cowboy, the one starring Idris Elba. The producers of that movie, they spent a lot of time on Fletcher Street Stables and with one of our good friends who's, he was murdered a month before filming. So these producers, Ricky, Dan, Stacy, Ryan, they all spent some time, learning the history and the culture of the urban black cowboy in Philadelphia. And it's never been, in order to keep it going, and because once upon a time there was maybe 30 or 40 backyard stables where we housed horses, or black horsemen in the city kept their horses, and they were like garages and abandoned buildings that we turned into barns. And over the years they've all been gentrified or affected by gentrification, and Fletcher Street Stables is one of the last homes of the black cowboy that's still standing. So these producers and Eric, they're like, okay, well, let's make this a thing to preserve this, because this is important and you don't see this kind of stuff like in the inner city. And that's how Philadelphia Urban Riding Academy was established.
Now you have a history of horses, of being
Yes.
around horses. You told me that you've been around them practically all your life. So
Yes.
tell us all about that.
So my dad, he drove me down. He had a welding shop in North Philly, and he drove me down to the horse stables one day on Fletcher Street. I may have been 6 years old, and that was history ever since. I think a couple of the guys may have brought their trailer to his shop to have repaired, and he brought me to the stables, and there was a guy, I call him Uncle Al, and Mr. Wayne, he's Pop, and they were like an extended family to me growing up. So they taught me the game and had me riding, competing. And I've been back and forth from Fletcher Street to other stables as my riding career progressed. Yes. So from Fletcher Street to Monastery Stables, which is in Chestnut Hill, and I became Mount Airy. I became a more competitive rider then. And then back to Fletcher Street and work to ride. So I've kind of been all around the city.
See, that's why we trying to get it out there more too, because to let the kids know that, it's other things that they can do. There's other things that they can do besides being on the phone or playing the games and stuff like once they try it, most of them they gonna love it, yo. I'm telling you,
I agree.
Once they turn, they ain't going back. They gonna be coming to dad and mom like, I need you. Want
When
to
can
buy
I go
me
back?
a horse now?
That's right.
You want to buy me a pony? I need something. You want to do something. That's how they. But that's what we trying to do, man. Just let the kids know, bring it more mainstream, so the kids can know that this is something that. Let me go try this. Right. If they know about it, then they'll try it.
I love the concept of it, because when I think about many of the other programs they have going throughout the city of Philadelphia, and I'm not knocking any of them. Every kid is not going to be the Allen Iverson on the court. They may not pick up the football and be a great football player, but taking on that responsibility of that animal, that horse, cleaning up behind the horse, learning how to put the saddle on, and just being responsible.
The basic stuff.
The basic
Right.
fundamentals of riding a horse. I agree with everyone in here. That's something that can transform a child. Not even a child, an adult for that matter, too.
It don't matter, child or adult.
I mean, because you got to think, like, growing up, we all, you see so many people come through Fletcher Street stables, and you'll see kids that just they'll start coming around, and then their friends will come around there with them one day, and they're like, "Ew, horses!" Blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, these kids that were ill horses are like, you find them grooming a horse and wanting to ride, and it's like that. And I know the generation I'm from, we all hung around there, and if say you did, I mean, your parents knew where you were, and that Fletcher Street was a safe street, and the adults, everyone looked after you, and nothing went on Fletcher Street. And if you did linger off, get into trouble, go to jail, or whatever happens, you come right back to the stable. It's something about a horse that just draws you back. And I did a photo shoot, the Concrete Cowgirl photo shoot in City Hall at nighttime, and the photographer is a really good friend of mine, and he called me one day and said, "Hey, my friend just saw your photo, and she works at Penn and wants to know if you could bring a horse to the hospital." I'm like, "Horse to the hospital? Okay." So, we exchanged numbers, we talked, and basically she was the director. Her name is Naima Khan. She was the director of the animal therapy program. So I talked to Ms. or Mike, and I'm like, "So what do you think? Like, should we do it? Let's do it and see what it's about." And we took Buttercup and took her to University of Penn the first time. We didn't know what to expect. We're just taking this pony into the hospital. And
you mean into the hospital?
Into the hospital.
Into the hospital, dog.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like outside.
No.
In the
Oh,
hospital.
y'all brought the pony inside.
On the elevator.
Oh, wow.
Upstairs.
Yes.
Everywhere. Like.
And the first time in the lobby, it's like everyone
Hold on.
around
We
her.
were stuck there. We were stuck in the lobby for about an hour, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to take pictures. They couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
Like, they wanted to
It's-
take pictures.
yeah.
It was crazy. It was
It's
crazy.
kind of decent.
It was nice, though.
During the filming of Concrete Cowboy, there's a little girl, one of the local actresses. Their family is really good friends and participates with a lot of stuff that we do. They are a part of us. But Nyla, she had a rare form of brain cancer, and it's called DPIG. And she just was diagnosed maybe a few months before filming. And Buttercup, she just loved this little pony, and this is before we owned her. So I just could not figure out, the heck do you like this little raggedy pony for? So, and she would ride Buttercup in the barn during filming and stuff like that. So as she got sicker with her treatments and all of that other stuff, she wasn't able to walk anymore after filming, and she came to the barn to see Buttercup, and she was in a wheelchair. She was nonverbal at this point, and she's just like, Buttercup is normally a skittish pony, and she has like this wheelchair, and she's holding Buttercup, and they're driveway, and I'm like recording it because just how calm she is, and Buttercup just like lays her head on top of Nyla, and she was happy that her mom and grandmom said how happy she was to be back there and around Buttercup. Like, it just brightened her spirit. So she did end up passing in September.
I'm sorry to hear.
I believe it was September. September. So we took Buttercup for her last, we put Nyla's boots on her Buttercup saddle, and she took her last ride. So
That's awesome. That is definitely awesome.
I want to talk about how the whole concept of the Philadelphia Riding Academy, and like, what's the projection for it? What's the structure going to be for the inner city kids that may not be able to afford horse riding?
okay, so we have a program right now. We're calling it the Junior Concrete Cowboys and Cowgirls. And that's basically for inner city youth that can't typically afford, riding lessons or horsemanship because it is expensive. It's an expensive hobby. Um, and those, when we created this program, we took a look at ourselves growing up and what the community did for us. So, you come in the stable and you learn, how to take care of these horses and all the responsibility that goes with horse care. And as long as your grades are right, you are, you know, able to be a part of that kind of program, which is 4 days a week. There's no cost. You just have your parents sign a release form, and you'll get all of the full rundown of, horsemanship. And I think that's what molded me into the person that I am today for what the older community did for myself, and I'm sure you can say the same.
Exactly.
So it's basically, you can't, these kids need recreation.
Definitely. When can we expect for the academy to be open and up and running?
We are working with the city. Thank you, Mayor Kenny, Councilman Jones, Parks and Rec. So we are, we have a location, and we're basically doing like the architectural things, but probably August 2021.
So, Aaron, you were telling me that you were there every day doing the filming. So when they
Go for it.
That whole month.
So when it took a month to film it.
Yes.
So when they actually put the movie together, you went to the screening and share with everyone what you told me about that.
The movie was like emotional, like for me, seeing it all, because I
Right.
knew like the behind story and how and these producers, they're like Ricky, Dan, Stacy, they're family now. I mean, because they're on our executive board. But a lot of times, you'll see Fletcher Street in the media and with the book or commercials, and everyone comes to get what they need to get, their little short clip or whatever. They pay you, and they go about their business. But, here you have this group of people that made this movie. They actually cared, and they're like, we're in this for the long haul.
Man, it's been a great show, and I'm glad you guys were able to come by and hang out and just
Definitely.
drop some knowledge. And what advice can you give to parents that want to get their children involved in horsemanship and just learning and riding and all that type of great stuff?
Well, I could just let them know if you do decide to have your kid come to our program, it's going to be like your kid will be well taken care of. They will learn responsibility, and you won't really have to worry about them too much while they're there. You can know, rest assured that my kid is going to be in a safe place.
It takes a village.
Right about that.
So you got how can people get in contact with you if they want to get a shirt?
Our website is www.thepura.org, and on social media we are Philadelphia Urban Riding Academy on Facebook and on Instagram.
Really, really great information. I think that if your child is open towards being around an animal, I think that the horse is a perfect animal to have your child around. And believe me, I'm in love with it, and I can't say enough about it. I'm always talking about horses now, and I'm always online looking at horses and really trying to really encourage my people who I come in contact with every day to, find out more information about horses, because it's a really, really great thing once you get the right horse.
Once you get the right horse,
And when you fall off that horse, you do what, Mike?
Get right back on me.
Get right
As long
back
as you
on.
ain't broke
Like
up or dead. Get back on it.